There are people from the House and the Senate and state government here. Thank you all for coming and appreciate you helping brother. I want to thank all the grassroots activists who've come. Thank you for taking time out of your day. Thank you for your interest in the political process. Thank you for your hard work for Jeb. Thank you for what you're going to do, which is to vote for him on Saturday here in the great state of South Carolina. I'm really happy to be back in this great state. I've got a lot of fond memories. I walked in the okra strut in Irmo. Interesting memory came in Greenville. Before the 2000 primary, David and Susan and I and Laura went to Tommy's Country's Ham House. And we were eating breakfast. As a matter of fact, I was eating some bacon when I looked out the window and a PETA protester dressed as a pig pulled up in a dump truck. He unloaded a huge load of manure in the parking lot to try to prevent me from leaving. It was kind of a sign of things to come. But let me tell you something about the Ham House. Even a steaming pile of manure can't ruin their good bacon. And I applaud you for putting her in office. You know, since we left the White House, I've been kind of quiet in the public square. 8 years in the limelight was plenty. And Laura and I are really happy in what she has described as the afterlife. We're spending a lot of time on our ranch where we've become tree farmers. It gives me a chance to practice my stump speech. I've become an oil painter. I know that the signature is worth more than the painting. Thanks to brother for giving us something to do today, something important. I'm proud of his candidacy, and I'm really proud to have been invited. I came here for two reasons. One, because I care deeply about Jeb, what it's like to be president. Being your president was a high privilege and the honor of a lifetime. And by the way, if serving as President of the United States makes me a part of the so-called establishment, I proudly carry that label. No doubt in my mind that Jeb Bush has the experience and the character to be a great president. For example, someone who served 2 terms in a large southern state as its governor. I believe that strength can come from faith. It can come from the comfort of a higher power and the humility that comes in realizing the Almighty's gift of grace. Phi Beta Kappa from the great University of Texas. He was governor. He led a robust, well-organized response to those who hurt. He did this as governor of Florida, and he will do this as President of the United States. That when President Jeb Bush speaks, he will follow through on his words. Jeb looks beyond the horizon, he sees a better tomorrow. He believes, and I believe, that America's best days are ahead of us, and that we're on the verge of the greatest time to be alive in human history. And with the right policies, and with a strong leader like Jeb Bush, we can get there. He laid out a specific plan, a well-thought-out plan, a measured plan that he will put into action when you send him to the White House. Living in the White House can be like living in a museum. I remember the time I went to visit Mother and Dad when they were there, and Mother said, "Get your feet off the Jeffersonian table." But Laura made the White House a home. She was the greatest First Lady ever. And she talks to Mom nearly every day, so don't tell her I said that. Jeb adores the love of his life, Columba. I'll never forget when we were both younger, living in Houston, Texas, and we'd go to the Astro games, and we'd sit out in the bleachers. I'd watch the game, and Jeb would write love letters to his future wife and our next First Lady, Columba Bush. Texas Land Commissioner George P. Noel and Jeb Jr. And like Laura and me, Jeb and Columba are grandparents. He's known as Gampy. I'm known as Jefe. For those of you who are not bilingual, that means the boss. Speaking of family, I think the voters should vote for the candidate who's got the most opinionated mother? I always wonder whether our mother learned to be opinionated at Ashley Hall right here in Charleston. Brother, Jeb Bush.